This is how all my YouTube videos start, by the way. It's just me acting a fool. YouTube, hello, welcome back to Final Fantasy 16. Hope you're enjoying the series so far. This is day number 6, and we've got ourselves a bit of a Ciduation. Anyways, so we're off to do a couple of side quests. We've got a couple of new main quests to do. This is now 5 years past where the bulk of the playthrough has been so far. If you haven't caught up in the series, make sure you check out the other videos. They're down listed below. Appreciate y'all watching, and as always, thanks for being here, everybody. Like, comment, subscribe, click the bell, do all the fun YouTube stuff. It helps the channel a lot. Appreciate y'all. We'll see you in a bit. Alright, so when we last left our heroes, we just saved Martha. We found out that all of her bearers had been killed by a group called the Black Shield, which is likely being led by Clive's mother over in Rosaria, which is obviously not a great feeling. So I guess we're gonna see how this works out. We've got like I said, we've got a couple of side quests. There's one outside here. I think that's the only one that's here. Did that say one-winged wonder? The white-winged wonder. Okay. Whew. I was like, oh god. Don't put Sephiroth in this game. Nope, thank you.
Try not to move.
Oi, you there! Don't just pass me by. You handy with that sword of yours?
No, I wear it for decoration.
Bet you're a bloody marvel with the thing.
Okay.
Now, question is, are you willing to use it or not? Because a flock of noble chocobos are in need of help.
Chocobos.
Chocobos. You heard me right. Wild birds? Hmm? The big ones?
Yes.
And not just any chocobos at that. Whiteheart and her flock are the bravest birds you ever did see. They protect travelers round these parts from bandits and the like.
Chocobos. Fighting bandits.
It's true. Why, they saved me from a gang of footpads only yesterday.
I need to stand up for like
And
maybe
now,
like 15 minutes or so. Nothing crazy. I just need to stretch my legs out a little bit. I am dying inside. I need to get outside so bad.
Go and help them.
I'm so tired. So tired of this bad air. Like, it's exhausting.
All right.
There's a good lad.
Where can I find these chocobos?
You run along
I saw him cut across the way over yonder. The rotten scoundrels were driving the poor things
And
towards the
remember-
old dock. It's a dead end, that is. You save Whiteheart and her flock, you hear me? There ain't a pluckier bird in all the world. She's a hero to us locals.
I got it,
Don't
dude.
worry. You'll know her when you see her right enough.
I'm sure I will.
Good luck.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna cut it.
To you. Bastards are hiding from me.
No, they haven't, Vi. They haven't. I get the feeling it probably won't happen. Call me crazy. But you know what? I made fun of those, but they would actually be helpful right now. That's unfortunate, isn't it?
That's quite a name for a chocobo.
That is quite a name for a chocobo. Am I going the wrong way? No. Hoop. It sure does, doesn't it? This looks bad.
A white feather. I thought Ambrosia was one of a kind.
Wait. Wait.
Here, brave birds.
Is it Ambrosia?
Looks like they went that way.
Or it's the Scorpions? They were Dyson, yep. Oh, never mind. It could be our chocobo. I don't want to get my hopes up.
These chocobos aren't going down without a fight. They're in trouble.
Right?
We got you cornered, Feathers. You didn't think you'd seen the last of us, did you? You've been bad for business. But I reckon someone will pay good coin to mount your head on their wall.
I'ma beat their ass.
Around here they won't.
Oh. And why's that, eh?
Because she's something of a hero in these parts. You hurt her, and I hurt you.
Piss off. Or better still, how about we hurt you both?
I like that plan. Go ahead.
But don't say I didn't warn you.
Burn. Whoops. Did I blow you up? My bad. Hey there, Crash. How are you? Welcome on in. Happy weekend. Oops. Hi. Thanks. Appreciate it. That's a good question. I assume Phoenix? I like the idea of like doing this lunge and then using a charged attack to combo in midair. That's true, he really wouldn't.
Nice try.
Ah. Right? He sure is. 48 experience is actually pretty high. Damn. Look at them.
You're safe now. White Heart, I presume. Do you know her, boy?
It is Ambrosia. It is Ambrosia.
Me?
I'll be damned. Wow.
Ambrosia. You found yourself a flock.
Oi! Is it over? I thought I'd come and see how you were getting on.
Oh yeah, thanks. Super brave.
Sort of the bastards, then. I knew you would.
Right, for real.
And the whole flock.
Damn,
went
Crash.
through unscathed.
Thankfully, they did. And not only that.
Not only that, this is my chocobo. Get fucked, you lose your hero.
Well, I'll be. I never stopped to think our hero here might once have been someone's mount.
That's fair.
No, I dare say she'd suit a fine fellow like yourself. Reckon our feathered friend must have learned a thing or two from her master. Kind-hearted warrior that you are. Bird like her would have cost a princely sum. You born a lord or something?
Well,
Oh, no,
Sort of.
Sorry, I didn't mean to pry. Don't matter who you are. You done right by me.
That's right. Quah.
what is it, girl?
She wants her master back, I reckon.
Do I actually get to ride the chocobo? Because, like, accept.
Told you. And it seems her pals agree.
Is that it? You want to come with me?
Well, bugger me if this ain't a heartwarming sight. The lads down the stables will be hearing about this tonight. Oh, stay right where you are.
Oh. He gave it an eye patch. Yes, sir. I love it.
Doesn't she cut an handsome figure, eh?
She does indeed. How much do I owe you?
A few scraps of leather's the very least I owe old Whiteheart. Oh, I'll be sad to see her go, of course. But she's earned her right to happiness and more besides.
Let's go, dude.
We'll get along just fine without her. You hear that, Whiteheart? You've earned yourself some time off. You have fun traveling with your master now. You seem awful familiar now I get a proper look at you. That's it. When those chocobos swarmed my cart on the road, didn't you? No. No, that can't be right. That fellow was a bearer.
Must have been my double.
Must have been, eh? Oh, that'll be the excitement getting to me. Silly sod that I am. Pay me no mind. Anyhow, best be on my way.
I forgot about him.
Good luck to the both of you.
Phew.
You take care of your flock for now. I'll call you when I need you.
Let's go, dude. Yeah, how about that? NPC character growth. Like, that's crazy. Chocobo unlocked! Yes! How do I call the Chocobo? Tell me. After 18 long years, Clive had finally been reunited with his faithful steed. Hold R3 while in the field to summon Ambrosia and X'd him out the Chocobo.
Ready, go?
Oh. Oh my gosh. Stop it. You can't open chests though. Oh look, everybody else gets a Chocobo too.
Be safe.
Can't open chest while I'm on Ambrosia, though. That's so cool. Oh my gosh. Let's go.
Come on.
God, this is great. Oh, it's just a break. it can hover. Oh gosh. Yep. Yep. Sure can. Oh, and it even dashes out of the drift? Come on, dude. This attention to detail, are you kidding? Unbelievable.
That's it.
All right, Ambrosia. All right, Ambrosia. All right. I see you. Wow, dude. Oh, God, can you imagine races? That would be so much fun. That would be so much fun. Back to the hideaway we go. Oh, my gosh. Oh, yeah, chocobos.
Where's Gav?
Where's Gav indeed? Any side quests here? No, but everybody's got new shit.
I hear there's trouble.
Hey there, Gav.
Ah, Clive! Oh, I've missed that scowl.
Where's my report?
Like no kind words to be ruled, pal Gav.
If it's kind words you're after, you're fishing in the wrong barrel. Now sit down, you fool.
So, you remember how quick the Empire was to occupy the Dominion after the fall of Drake's head? And how pissed off all the other nations were that they didn't think to do it first?
Oh, boy.
Half a century of independence gone at the whim of a madman. So much for their bloody treaty.
Clearly, the promise of unblighted land and the world's supply of crystals was too much for his radiance to resist. And now the Republic's finally decided to follow suit, using liberation as an excuse to declare war on Sambrek. Lined up right outside the Dominion's gates as we speak, looking to starve the Imperials into submission.
And now all eyes are on the Strait of Author.
While the two nations beat their shields, the rest sharpen their daggers, ready to set upon the war-weary victor. They'll never see us coming. It's time we moved on the mother crystals.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
4 mother crystals remain in Storm and Ash. Drake's Breath near Ironhome. Drake's Fang in Dhalmekia. Drake's Spine in Waloed. And Drake's Tail here in the Crystalline Dominion.
With the bulk of the Republican army marching to Twinside, Drake's Fang will be left exposed.
That is exactly the move Kupka would anticipate. And if there is anything these past 5 years have taught us, is that he loves his traps.
So we move on the Iron Kingdom instead.
Over, where nobody will be expecting us to go.
Drake's breath.
There's a shitload of sea between us and it, and I've never been much of a swimmer.
I have an acquaintance in Port Isolde who may be able to help.
Who's that then?
My uncle, Byron Rosfield.
Lord Byron Rosfield of the Seven High Houses, the trade magnate with holdings in over 100 cities. Wait, Rosfield. And you're a Rosfield, of course.
My uncle's name gave him his start in the world, but it was his acumen which earned him his fortune. Along with a handsome fleet of ships.
Fun.
Well, it's settled then. What are we waiting for, eh? Huh?
Guess not. It's been 5 years. All he's known is that my name is Clive. Otto's counter is now open. New facilities are available. Alliant reports, the Patron's Whisper, and the Hunt Board. All three are located near Otto and the Mess. That's right. We haven't seen the Alliant reports since, like, the beginning of the game. And look at that, a side quest all the way over there.
What are we waiting for, indeed?
Guess I'm going there first. So up the stairs and hang a right, or just hang a right up here?
It's all right to touch.
You can hang it right here. Well, this is a hell of a walk, huh?
Did you come through the forge today?
Clip, clop, clip, clop, clip. Clip, clop, clip, clop, clip. Okay, and then hang around. And boop.
Martel. See, I was hoping to speak to you.
Is everything all right?
Oh, yeah, it's just, well, as you know, we've been trying to grow fruit down here.
It's good to know that something of the old hideaway still lives on.
Martel's pride and joy. It was a sapling when she rescued it from the rubble, but look at it now. All our hard work's finally paying off. I took it on, you see, after she died, and now the fruit's finally ready to eat. And not only is it ready, it's actually tasty. Sweet as you like, in fact.
How about
She
that?
read the bitter right out of it.
Impressive. And welcome news to more than a few, I'd say.
I thought this first harvest could go to the curse breakers on account of all they do for the hideaway. You couldn't take them some, could you?
Very proud.
Seems better than coming from you.
Yeah, I can do that.
Just being the bearer of good news for a change.
Oh, thank you. She always had a soft spot for that lot, see? And once they've had their share, I'll see to it that everyone else gets some. Here you go. Martel apples, they're called, in honor of her memory.
Dope. That's super cool.
You hear that, Martel? Today's finally the day.
Two baskets of Martel apples.
Come here, pulls the black from the lake water and renders it clean. You'll have to ask Mid if you want to know how it works, though.
Mid? The foundations of Valistean botany, marble tendrils. After excising from the trunk, dry for 3 to 5 turns of the sun until brittle to the touch. Grind in mortar and add to warm coral milk to remedy gout, melancholy, and moon sickness. Caution recommended when harvesting, as the host may grow disquieted. You think it's going to be upset? Experimental record. Mixed equal parts first-rate vineyard hummus from Galton's bales with Deadland soil. Of the 6 cuttings planted therein, 2 survived to flower, only to wither and die within a se'nnight. Even amalgamated with the finest imperial loam, the blighted earth is still affecting a nutritional deficiency. It might be remedied with some further source of nourishment, saltpeter or potash, or the dung of a racing chocobo. This shall be the subject of my next round of experiments. Good lord. Trying to find ways to make the blighted earth work for him. It's interesting. Yeah, okay. Oopa-doopa-doopa-doop. Oopa-doopa-doop. Oopa-doopa-doopa-doopa-doopa-doopa-doop. Oh, shit, yawn. Sorry. We haven't gotten here yet to look. Go take a peek. Up, up, up.
And you say Cid built this place?
Well, one can't really build what's been lying around for several thousand years. But it was his idea we claim it for our own.
I'm a smart boy.
Perhaps
Doesn't look like there's anything of import in here. Oh, wait. Book of Sums. Old farmer Otto keeps both chocobos and antelopes. After 5 of his stock fell ill, he put them in his barn to rest. However, Otto woke up the next morning to discover that a leg eater had found its way into the barn and devoured 3 of the limbs of one of his antelopes. To make certain all remaining legs were accounted for, he did a tally and was satisfied when he counted 13. Question: how many chocobos were in the barn? Chat. Yes, math. He keeps both chocobos and antelopes. 5 of his stock fell ill, and he put them in the barn to rest. Ass? So there were 5 in the barn, right? 5 in the barn. One of the antelopes lost 3 of its legs, right? So it only had 1 leg left because antelopes only have 4 legs, right? Chocobos only have 2 legs. So you have to figure out how to get to 13 legs with the 5 animals. And one of the animals is going to have 1. So one of the legs is 1. So that means the remaining 4 animals have to add up to 13. Or to 12, rather. To 12. So it'd be 4, 8, 10, 12. So it's 2 chocobos. 2 chocobos, 3 antelope. I think we know that people can exist without their legs, so I'm sure chocobos can too.
What's the matter, Cid? You look as pale as the day your predecessor slung you in the cell next to mine. Not about to have another fit, are you? Of course you aren't. You're a changed man now. We both are. What's the matter, Cid? You look as pale as the day your predecessor slung you in the cell next to mine. Not about to have another fit, are you?
It's ground beef. Yeah. Off to deliver the apples. Peek in here really quick, see if there's anything to read. Seems like no. Boy, they really did make this a home, huh?
They say removing a brand is almost as painful as getting one.
I imagine it would be.
So Martha's all right.
You two look like you could use something to eat. Here, courtesy of Martel.
Martel. Now, where have I heard that name before?
Weren't she the girl from the Furrows?
Course she was. An odd sort, that one. Loved plants more than people.
Aye, and brave as a bane might. Remember when she ran back into the hideaway to collect them trees when Titan attacked? Wait,
These aren't those apples, are they? Well, I'll be. She'd have been proud, and rightly so. Thank you, Sid.
Well, that's nice.
A gift from the backyard. For your service.
Yeah, there we go. Now my legs are feeling better. God, I need to walk.
Blimey, these take me back. I haven't seen a hideaway apple since. Old Sid was the only one who could stomach the things. He'd nab them right from the branch, make Martel livid. Not that anyone could stay mad at the man for long.
That sounds like the Sid I knew, all right.
Planning on keeping that lot to yourselves, were you? Hang on. These aren't Martels, are they? I'm glad to see someone carried on what she started. Can't have been easy, not in the Deadlands. Reckon she'd be happy knowing all her hard work didn't go to waste. Clive, tell the lad down in the backyard to run some over for me, will you?
Not so much as a thank you. Well, I've got some manners at least. Thanks, Sid. You can leave the basket with me. I'll see that the others get their share. Oh, and give our compliments to the gardener, won't you?
That was the last of the apples. I should head to the backyard and pass along everyone's regards.
That's super nice.
I'm planning a journey. Clive. Oh, same old.
Otto's got me reading through the reports coming in from our allies and picking out what problems need dealing with now and what can be saved for later. It was still early days back in the old place, so I could just about handle the job myself. State of the world now, though, I need Dee's help to sift through it all. And that's just the sifting. Actually solving any of these problems is a whole nother headache. The Cursebreakers take the urgent stuff, but we're still stuck waiting for volunteers to handle the rest.
So,
If you ever find yourself at a loose end, well, you know where to find me. So much has happened since that night. Feels like a lifetime ago. But we'll never forget those who didn't make it. Kenneth, Martel, they're still with us in our hearts.
and Sid,
When I found out he was gone, I thought that was it for us.
he's still with us too.
With us and in you. You took his name and gave us hope when we had none. So I suppose what I'm trying to say is, don't be a stranger, eh? A hideaway ain't nothing without its Sid.
Quick look.
No available quests in the Alliant reports
Always
as of right
something
now.
in there.
Hello.
Oh, Clive. Welcome to the Patron's Whisper.
The Patron's Whisper? Does that mean someone else is taking care of our friend's donations?
Oh, no, that's still me. It's just Karen has her toll, Blackthorn has his hammer. I thought a new name might liven things up. I still catalogue every item that arrives, in addition to setting aside those tokens of appreciation the sender has specified are to be presented to you personally. Would you like to see if we have any?
Yes.
Come to claim your just desserts?
Completing side quests will earn Clive renown, inspiring nameless benefactors from across the Twins to donate money or items to Clive's cause. Visit Ezra at the Patron's Whisper in the Hideaway's Mess to view current renown level and accept any donations available. Talk of the Tea House. Your merry band of outlaws and its dashing deeds of daring do are all the talk amongst the ladies of the court. We have gathered together several items of worth that you might continue your gallantry. 400 ability points, huh?
Here you are.
Cool. Our order is one built on pride, but that does not mean we are too proud to give thanks when thanks is due. We may have failed Martha once, but never again.
You earned this.
Nope. A berserker ring?
Best of luck out there, Cid.
Excellent. It's weird when they call me Cid. Nectar? Hi, there you are, Kupo. I've been looking all over for you.
What's the matter, Nectar?
The matter is this, Kupo.
The hunt board. It's where the Cursebreakers post sightings of particularly fearsome beasts. Those that might pose a threat to our operations if they were left to roam free. Just because they can't be dealt with when they're spotted, doesn't mean they can't be dealt with later. Was that what you wanted to know?
Of course not, Kupo. I knew all that already. And that's why I need your help. As I need not remind you, Kupo, I am the mightiest of all the Moogles. No fiend of the forest or ghoul of the greens... That was way too fast. Kill things, he says.
Right. Well, leaving your mightiness aside for the moment, the people of Valisthea are going through a lot already. What with the Blight and the war. The last thing they need is ungodly fiends terrorizing them on top of everything else. So if the Cursebreakers are too busy to help, then perhaps I can. Or at least I can try.
Thank you. What do you got? Reports of fiends terrorizing the countryside are posted to the hunt board in hopes that fearless heroes, such as Clive, will take it upon themselves to hunt down and slay the notorious marks. Already got that one. The Angel of Death. A trader coming by the way of Caer Norvin met with a troop of Cursebreakers traveling in the opposite direction and warned them of a wicked winged harpy on the road ahead, her eyes wild and flickering. But the Cursebreakers saw nothing untoward on their journey toward their pass. The sound of cackling laughter from the trees ensured they kept up a brisk pace. Belphegor. Reports have been received of a wild avis of striking size making its nest upon the hill adjacent to Eastpool. Though all efforts are being made not to rouse the beast ire, it is surely but a matter of time before it needs to feed. I hereby petition any brave volunteers to march to the northern border that we might cut the fiend down before it makes trenchers of the nearby villages. I suppose I can do that. Got a new lesson for me, Viv?
Ah, my favorite pupil.
Can measure up to Nectar the Bull. Thanks, Larry.
What is it that you wish to learn? Here's the latest information I have.
Lordy. There's just so many people.
The state of
Lordy.
the realm is ever-changing, Clive.
The state of the realm is ever-changing, Clive.
That broom's as ragged as...
At least they didn't talk about the kid and the fucking lemon tarts again. Leave the kid alone.
Back, are ya? What's that for you, dear? That it? Fine.
Alright, now we gotta run all the way back downstairs. Whop. Do I need to jump? Probably not, but it makes me feel better.
The Cursebreakers send their thanks. And their compliments. They were clearly very fond of Martel.
They remembered her. After all these years. I suppose she was very kind, even to a tongue-tied lummox like me. You were one of the good ones, Martel. Why did you have to die? She put everything into her work. she wasn't going to rest until we had fruit sweet enough to enjoy. And now we do. When she died, I named a sapling after her. And now it's a full-grown tree. Martell lives on through the fruit it bears.
And through you. Her dream would have died with her, had you not kept it alive. That's something to be proud of.
I didn't do anything really, but thank you. You're kinder to me than I deserve.
By the way, Otto's expecting some of your crop. And I wouldn't mind some of it either, if that's not too much to ask.
Of course not. I'll see that you're both well provided for.
Thank you.
They like your fruit, Martell. Isn't that wonderful? I'd say it's about time we planted you some siblings, don't you think?
That's nice. Displayed in Clive's chambers. Let's go. Alrighty. We can't do any of the other side quests. That hurts my feelings. Why, give me access to it then, game. Fine, I guess. There's something on my reading table, though, so I'm going to the reading table. Why can't I fast travel there? Yeah, 2 nice things in a row. That one was kind of sad, but sad in a nice way, right?
Did you come through the forge today?
It's true, it's very good. Forgive my insistence on writing you these silly letters. Would that we had more time to speak to each other in person, but for every day we spend together, it feels as though we must suffer another 2 apart. I am gladdened to hear of your most unexpected reunion with Ambrosia, or should I say Whiteheart. You told me once how your chocobo sacrificed herself to protect you that night at Phoenix Gate, and here, so many years later, we find she has spent her life doing that exact same thing, defending others. Some things never change, do they, Clive? Jill. Cute. Look at that. Got Ambrosia's tack. That's cool. Now we can continue.
Do you think it was wise to leave, Gav? He didn't seem pleased.
I needed his eyes and nose in Dhalmekia. I'm not about to let Kupka take us unawares. Besides, he has a knack for that sort of thing.
That he does.
Sounded like Cid.
And wasn't it Cid who said that matters such as these are best left to dominance? Especially should one of his beloved opportunities to grow and change present itself.
Thorgal?
I always knew that I would return one day. Return to Ironhome.
For what?
After learning the truth, you were given the chance to face your past. If I am to continue at your side, I must do the same.
They better not.
We will face it together then.
I'm warning you, video game.
Come on.
Bloodlines.
How far do you think your mother's reach extends? Will we find the same tragedy in the south as we did at Martha's Wreck?
More than likely. Which is why we should hurry. There are still many settlements between here and Port Isolde.
I'm guessing that's Port Isolde, all the way over there.
Stories. Starting with the village of Amber.
She froze it. Oh my god. Damn. Oh. Okay. So this is the south side then. Neat. South side? Yeah. That was brutal.
It's over.
Time to fight.
Jesus.
All yours,
Oracle just jumped up and slammed that bitch down to the ground. That was great.
Mockery of justice is what it is. Lord Elwyn would never have stood for this.
Been 18 years, dog. Let it go.
Nothing, we're loyalists.
Jill, look.
That looks like the Black Shield.
Rosaria must be cleansed of the stain which befouls her, that she might rise once again from the ashes to welcome a new dawn. 'Twould be a pity to make examples of you all for the transgressions of but a handful.
Of course, your lordship. You shall have our full cooperation.
Will they?
Come on, boy.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
What business could the Black Shields have in a village this small? There's barely room to hide a bearer.
Then they must be here for something else.
You fancy dancing a gallows jig like the miller's son?
All right.
What do you got, Mr.
You're a long
Merchant?
way from home, aren't you?
Increases limit break generation amount by 6% when taking damage. We can already buy that at home. Night Terrors. Okay. I suppose I could start buying some stuff, but like, eh.
Excuse me, but what was all that about earlier?
You haven't heard? Someone's been stirring up trouble. There have been attacks on the garrison, supplies stolen. They even say a Black Shield was murdered.
Oh no.
The Empire wants answers, and what the Empire wants, Empire gets.
Don't they just?
Keep your ears open, eh? The Black Shields will pay good coin for information on the culprits. You'd have to be dull as a sack of stones to think you could take on the Empire. What with their 100 full legions? 100? I heard it were 1,000.
Guess I'm dull as a sack of stones. Because my first reaction to hearing about the Black Shields was, we're gonna fuck them up.
What did those knights want, Father?
I told you to stay in the house. Go on.
You seen him, didn't you?
I'm sorry.
The Black Shields. Just now. You seen them, didn't you? At least I think they was the Black Shields. Can't say I ever saw one before.
Was this the first time they visited the village?
What do you think? Amber's the arse end of nowhere. And they thought we might be harboring firebrands. Huh. If only we were. I might have turned them in and become a Black Shield myself.
You don't think these firebrands the Empire is looking for could be us, do you?
I don't know. But we need to find out. Greetings, friend. We are travelers.
I know that. What do you want?
We couldn't help noticing those Imperial soldiers who were here earlier.
Don't you go telling these strangers a thing. I speak for the people of this village, and we have nothing more to say to you. You are to leave Amber and never come back.
May I at least ask why?
I don't know who you are or what brings you here, but your presence puts us all in grave danger. The Empire is a harsh master. Its demands are great, and its justice swift. But as long as we keep our heads down and pay our tributes, we are left alone. Some might call it submission. But if it will spare my people the Viceroy's wrath, then I will gladly submit. This village will not become another East Pool.
Then we shall be on our way.
Damn. Yes.
These people live with a knife to their throats. In the mistaken belief that if they cooperate, my mother will show them mercy.
Yep.
Obedience bought with fear.
Are you all right?
Sorry, It's nothing.
Clive, don't be
We still
dumb.
don't know who the Black Shields are looking for.
Well, whoever they are, the Imperials deem them worth pursuing to the back of beyond. But other than Martha, who else in Rosari would have the courage to stand against the Empire? A new ally would certainly be welcome. Can we find them before the Imperials do? Perhaps the next village will yield more answers.
Perhaps.
Interesting. Sounds like we gotta go say hi. I would really like to be honest with you.
This pass will take us through the mountains.
And directly into the path of whoever or whatever lurks here.
Yeah!
Ever since the apothecary, we've seen more and more of these echoes.
What do you think is waking them? The mother crystal's collapse?
I have an idea. You're not going to like it.
Stay down!
His stay down has gotten a lot more aggressive.
You're finished!
That'll buy it. Yeah. Doop-a-doop-a-doo.
More of my mother's men.
That's a good thing, though. Maybe that means tomorrow we'll actually be able to go outside. I suppose we can take a quick peek. I feel like there's probably nothing over here right now. But if I don't look, I'll end up being curious the entire time and wishing I had. So. Like, I know those are enemies, but... I am the Thunder. Discharge 50 blind justice lightning balls. Nope. Oh, it's a bomb. You haven't seen a bomb in a long time, huh? That was a treasure chest. I did get self-destructed on, by the way, and I almost died, but we're not going to talk about that. We're fine. Everything's fine. That's right. It's funny how things come around, isn't it? God. Scared of you, bug. All right, good to continue on. No point in not using the limit break for healing, to be honest with you, because it recharges pretty quick. That ability is so good. I'm so glad I bought that. Like, oop, shit. Hopefully I didn't actually use that. I didn't, great. Yeesh. At the Torgal. Good boy. Bet him again. Mm-hmm. Bet him again.
After it.
2 more times.
That'll feel good, boy.
1 more.
Get it, boy.
Okay. Satisfied. Looks like we can go that way. I'm gonna peek around here real quick, just make sure there's nothing hiding. Like, no. Grab that item real quick, which I assume is a potion. Alright. Question, why can't I push them off the ledge? I get that probably means that, like, I would have to then be able to be pushed off the ledge, but I'm okay with that, honestly. Uh-oh. That didn't look good.
Clive.
And still wet.
You were told to stay in your homes.
The Black Shields.
You know who we are. And still, you would bear your steel.
I would, yes.
Why then? We owe you our thanks. You have saved us the trouble of an interrogation. To dwell in darkness, that we may purge the night and welcome lasting dawn. On these, our swords we swear.
Say that again. I'll show you a true shield, Rosaria.
Burn them all.
Enough.
Done. Smart. Left one alive.
Tell me what I want and the end will be swift. Who are you looking for?
Why, you. We come bearing a message. Your friends have been found. The branded you freed from our camps. They await you in Ordeal. Guardians of the Flame.
Those are Old Hill's gates.
Then we hurry.
Uh-oh. Get the feeling we're about to see another slaughter. Hope everybody's ready. That was something. Yo, thanks for 100 bits. Here we go.
Find something, boy. Death.
Found her.
Dude. That's fucked up.
This is my mother's doing.
But why? Why would anyone?
I don't know. I never truly understood her. But this...
Clive.
I will learn what madness drives her, and I will end it.
Sounds like we're taking a detour.
We should go.
Yes.
We can't leave them here like this.
We won't. But if the Black Shields have made it this far south, they may already be in Port Isolde.
She's right. She's right. She's got the looks and the brains. What have you got, Clive? Honestly. You got a coin. Yay for you. Big sword, yeah. Right? For real. We need to be taking that detour. They're not, but we need to. Can't even go that way. Won't let me. It's all blocked off. Crazy. All right, well. Guess we continue onward. God. I can't believe this. This is nuts. Dude. Like, oh my gosh. Man. Oh, I froze. There we go. Hopefully it wasn't there too long.
They're approaching Buick Bridge. Though I doubt the Empire would let us cross over to Rosalith.
Okay, so not very long. Good.
I did, Mummy. I could hear him shouting from down the road.
Hutch, no. You didn't hear nothing.
Okay. Don't refresh? Why? What's happening?
Didn't happen to come by way of Oldhill, did you? Saw some Imperials clad in black making for the docks just the other day. The next morn, you couldn't see the sun for all the ravens.
Oh dear.
They're all Rosarian.
But this is their home.
I'm hungry.
The Empire would have us live in the Deadlands.
Sounds like Twitch is having some issues then.
Houses outside Port Isolde. The place is a wretched hive of thieves and blackguards.
Who wants to go for a nice walk on the beach with the devil crab? Yeah, seems likely. That's too bad. Hopefully they get it figured out soon. Usually when that happens, it's an Amazon Web Service problem, so not like a specific to Twitch issue. Sick. All right. So what was that item? Three sharp fangs. Pork, pork. All right, nothing else down here. We'll move our ways back up. The aerial combos in this game are probably a lot better than I've been actually showcasing. That was pretty cool. Being able to do that is one thing, though.
The Lazarus. What happened to this place?
My mother happened. The nobles who lived here didn't stand a chance. Let's hope my uncle fared better.
Jeez.
We should start with the main gate and see where that gets us.
Get the feeling this is bad. Close right now.
That's the main gate. And it looks like we're not the only ones hoping to get in.
Let us pass! My children are starving!
Have mercy.
Voice friends dogs they are! You can't ignore us forever!
Let us in, or we'll die on your doorstep!
Better out there than in here.
Oh, enough
Fuck off.
Find you chinless bastards. Those crystals belong to us all.
I said, where were you, filth? Back to your sties. Cut you down where you stand.
Destroy it!
Uh-oh.
No chance of slipping through unnoticed. We'll need to find another way in.
Good thing we saw two, like, pretty weak-looking gates on the way through.
I thought we might be able to reason with the guards. Or at least bribe them.
I suspect everyone in that crowd thought the same. Was that the only way in?
Officially, yes. Strictly speaking, no. My uncle once told me that the nobles had tunnels built, so that they could visit town without having to walk amongst the rabble. The Lazarus. We'll find our way into the city there.
Alrighty.
If you're sure. The entire place looked abandoned. Do you think it's safe?
Nope.
As long as it is abandoned.
Black light burns.
The good news is we haven't seen a single black shield since Old Hill.
Maybe they found who they were looking for.
Grab some items here while we're here. 10 sharp fangs. I haven't really been using that stuff, right? Like, we haven't really had to craft for a while. I've got 651 of those sharp fangs. Maybe that'll change soon. Come on, get up. Hello.
It's over.
Sick. Hello, Mr. Double Crab. I'm just here to take this item. Have a great day.
All right.
It's
Nope. That's so cool. And we get...
This is nothing like I remember it.
How quickly a crown can lose its luster.
God. This is where the game started, right? Where all the training sessions and stuff were. Jeez.
Not abandoned then.
Oi! Visitors!
Apologies.
Never abandoned.
We'll show ourselves out.
Alright, fine.
Or not.
It's true, they did. We tried to be nice. I don't know what they all expected. Really don't know what they expected.
I've only ever seen one man fight like that. And he's long dead.
Then perhaps
Is
it's
he,
time
though?
you joined him.
The blessing of the Phoenix. It can't be. I was there when you died.
He's alive?
Forgive me, my lord. I knew not whom I addressed. You have naught to fear from us. Founder, it really is you.
Damn.
It is. So wait.
We can speak inside.
Hold. Sir Wade, a loyal shield of Rosaria, chosen by Lord Commander Rodney Murdoch to accompany Clive on his expedition to Stillwind. Though he did all he could, we don't get anything else. Do nothing new. All right. That's true. That is true. They could have. It is Wade. He survived. Him and Tyler were like right next to Joshua when he turned, so I just assumed they died.
And those who wouldn't bend the knee?
We left before the Empire could make examples of us, though we didn't go far. And we banded together to form the Guardians of the Flame soon after. Alas, there is only so much a handful of aging shields can do against the might of an empire.
Yeah, they're fine.
But we've seen to it that their stay has been anything but pleasant.
I just beat them up real bad.
Of late, though, we've had our hands full just trying to keep the Duchy's few remaining bearers out of the Imperial's clutches.
The Cullings. We saw what happened in Old Hill.
Aye, the foul work of the Black Shields and their mistress.
You mean my mother? But it doesn't make sense. Even knowing what I know about her. Her hatred for bearers was no secret, but she wouldn't have been ignorant of their value to the realm.
No offense, my lord, but in case you haven't noticed, the Lady Annabella couldn't care less about the realm. She barely even cares for her own home. That much has been plain since the slaughter at Eastpool. And, since granting the Holy Emperor a new heir, her obsession with bearers only seems to have grown. As to why, I don't know. Maybe she can't bear the thought of anyone having the power to challenge her beloved son.
Her son.
Sir Wade, the Black Shields have broken camp. They march in full force for Buick Bridge.
Then so do we. Make ready. This
Yeah,
is their
suppose
main
you can
host.
help.
If we remove the head, perhaps we can prevent what happened at the docks from happening somewhere else.
Yeah, we roll.
If I do nothing, then the blood of their next victims will be on my hands.
Yours and ours. We too have witnessed the crimes these men who dare call themselves shields have committed in my mother's name. It cannot be allowed to continue. We must put a stop to this madness.
We must. So let us go with you. For the good of Rosaria.
I was hoping you'd say that.
Let's go.
Very well.
Welcome back to the squad, Sir Wayne.
If that is your wish, I would be honored to serve at your side.
And we at yours.
So, Wade, let us do our duty.
With pleasure, my lord.
Dope.
I imagine this endeavor will require more than just our wits.
Then let's hope Sir Wade has a good quartermaster.
You are welcome to what little we have managed to salvage.
Nope. Nope. Nothing. Nothing. Just some desert roses. Like that's gonna do us any good.
I will be here should you need aught else.
Tell us then, Sir Wade. What is your plan?
Nothing fancy. You, Lady Jill and I make for Buick Bridge and provoke the main host at their encampment. Sensing an opportunity to end the Guardians, the Black Shields will call for reinforcements, who will be met from the rear by parties of my brothers hidden throughout the surrounding hills. This will allow us to wage battle on the bridge without fear of being overwhelmed.
Dope.
While the Black Shields have an advantage in numbers, you see, they prefer to fight in small units, which we can use to our advantage.
How small exactly?
Small enough, now that I have you and Lady Jill for company. I doubt I could have done this on my own.
But until we arrived, that was your plan. You haven't changed a bit.
So Wade, the bearers from Old Hill have been laid to rest.
Good.
Very good. Now make ready for battle.
As you command.
Wade's a commander? Damn.
Thank you, Sir Wade. Perhaps now they will find peace.
There is but one thing which will grant them peace. Putting an end to the Black Shields.
I agree.
And so we shall.
Throughout the main scenario, Clive will often be joined by various companions who are keen to lend their assistance. However, depending on Clive's destination, they may choose to remain behind at the hideaway. It's not like I can go anywhere else. Why tell me that now? Doop. 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 Oh. Torgal, Sick, and Ravage have leveled up. There is a photo mode. I didn't even notice. That's so cool. Okay. I didn't realize there was a photo mode. I'm going to play with that later. Ah, Wade's listed as a guest, not a party member. Interesting. All right. Off the Bewit Bridge. Bewit.
May the blessing of the Phoenix go with you.
How long have you been pursuing the Black Shields?
Since they burned their first village. We tracked down the bastards responsible and fed their corpses to Stillwind. Suffice to say, that got their attention. It's been a game of cat and mouse ever since.
Look at me sideways. How was the Black Shields?
Come along now.
Hey, come along. We'll find another bridge.
Bastards are lucky I didn't have my house.
There they are. On your command, my lord.
What is it now? I told you!
We bear a message for the Vicereine. From the Guardians of the Flame.
Ha! You presume to tell us that a pair of filthy vagabonds, a woman and a dog, could guard aught against the might of the Black Shields? Then come! Die along with your flame!
Don't you talk shit about the dog.
Your petty revolution ends here.
Does it? How y'all doing in there? You're on fire a little bit. Everything okay?
On these our swords we swear.
Farewell.
Bloody hell! Reinforcements from the far bank!
Oh, a wyvern. Nope. Forgot to dodge. Ooh, okay. Got him.
More dragons.
Works. The Imperials aren't taking any chances. I can't see them flattered.
Just the dog can do all that. True.
A noble
Here we go.
stand, albeit a misguided one.
A
In
dragoon.
taking it, you have but proven our point. That this land is in dire need of cleansing.
No more Night of the Morning Sun, huh? Night of the Lasting Dark instead. Man, that's a bummer. You got counterattacked. How does that make you feel, dog? Are you alright?
So wait.
Ah.
There's no one left to keep them occupied. We need to finish this.
You mean finish him?
Heal time. I'm not sure if it did or not, to be honest with you. Shit. I was on the wrong thing. I thought I was on the green one. I'm sorry. We leveled up to 27. Getting stronger. Imperial Link. Dragon Talon, some other miscellaneous stuff. Whoops!
I don't see any more.
Nor do I. The plan worked.
Did it?
It did. It bloody worked. We sent every last one of the rotten bastards straight to the mud. My, Lord. Perhaps this will be enough to stop the Cullings. For the time being, at least.
Perhaps. Though I doubt my mother will take this loss well. She'll move swiftly to see her minions' ranks replenished.
And then it will all begin again.
True.
I often wonder if the nation we once knew is gone for good. Her fields rot. Her people starve. We battled to preserve the flame that was, but for every foe we fell, another springs up in its place. Yet be that as it may, it is still our home, and we must fight for it. As we always have, and always will.
Fight.
For as long as the Firebird's flame burns in our hearts, the Duchy cannot die. And her loyal subjects may dream of a day when the Rosarian standard flies over Rosalith once more.
So wait,
Think we should fall back to Port Isolde before the garrison sends reinforcements? A sound strategy, my lord.
Quest complete. Nice. Got 20 renown, some meteorite, and some magic ash. Oh.
And how long has my uncle been funding you and your comrades' endeavors?
Since the beginning. Lord Byron was the first person I turned to after forming the Guardians. And had I known of this tunnel back then, I wouldn't almost have been hanged by the city guard for trying to sneak over the wall.
I suppose a formal request for an audience would have appeared suspicious.
And appearances must be maintained. Were the Vice-Regency to catch wind of Lord Byron's involvement in our movement, they'd seize his estate and send him to the gallows, where he would be of no use to anyone. And so, though it sickens him to the soul, he plays the part of the loyal lord, knowing that one wrong move might prove his downfall.
Damn.
It is why he remains ever vigilant. Don't be surprised if he refuses you an audience, especially since you're famously dead.
Then I will have to think of a way to prove that I am neither wraith nor wrongdoer.
I might have something which could help with the latter.
A patch? We haven't gotten a patch in a long time.
Display it, and those who love Rosaria will know where your loyalties lie.
Let's go.
I shall wear it with pride.
Be sure that you do. I don't want my men attacking you again. Unless you deserve it. If only Sir Tyler could have been here to see you. Or the Lord Commander.
So Tyler didn't make it then. Bummer.
Thank you, Sir Wade. If there is ever anything you need.
I know. Go on now, my lord.
Dope. Port is old.
How accommodating. Do you really think they believe we are who we say we are?
Nope.
Not a chance.
Nope, sure don't.
Right, I guess. My uncle believes we're imposters here to rob him. And means to string us up himself.
Imagine my surprise when I was told my nephew had come to visit. Clive Rosfield died long ago. And for uttering his name here, you shall pay with your tongue! You would mock me as well?
It is I, Sir Crandall of Camelot, loyal servant to Her Serene Holiness, Saint Sybil the Unshod. Meadow, thou vile sorcerer, for thy crimes against church and crown, I shall have thy head.
That's one way to get him to understand it's you.
Curse thee, infectious
flax wench? Even in death, must thou plague me still? Very well. I shall open the gates of hell, that thou might see thy charge once more.
Bravo, Uncle. You're still the finest Maddu in the twins.
Oh, Clive, my dear boy, it's really you. You always were fond of that scene from The Saint in the Sanctuary. Never did let me play Sir Crandall.
I have a favor to ask, Uncle Byron.
Rutherford, inform the kitchens. There'll be guests. We dine immediately.
But, Uncle...
You can't very well regale me with the tale of your miraculous preservation of an empty stomach. Go on, sit.
Nah, bitch. You eat first. You sit down.
See that you use the good plates, Rutherford.
Wait, there's always time for food.
So you arrived late to one of her cullings, did you? Since becoming Vicereine, Annabella has been a constant thorn in Rosaria's side. But
I'm that family member.
These atrocities are a new low.
Oh, we have things to do? What are we eating?
Changed. Quite what?
Nothing? I won't be there.
The woman we knew is gone, and a monster sits in her place.
A monster.
For better or worse, I've been charged with governing this town, and thus must maintain the illusion of obedience. That's all I can do to aid Wade and his merry band of revolutionaries.
So he's told us. You have risked much for Rosaria. Our nation will be forever in your debt.
It has been 20 years, Clive.
18, actually.
The nation your father and your forefathers fought to defend is no more. Perhaps it would be otherwise had I the courage of my brother. All right, if it's a ship you require, a ship you shall have. I've a galley in port, but recently relieved of her cargo. She can be outfitted for the voyage in a matter of weeks.
So you believe us then? About everything?
Believe you? Ha! Only a fool would believe even half of the things you claim. Until tonight, only a fool would have believed my nephew still lived. And besides, I have it on good authority that Clive is telling the truth.
Whose authority?
On your own,
The
of
music.
course. You've always been a terrible liar.
Is that true?
It's not untrue.
Let's say no more about it, eh? It wouldn't do to linger on my nephew's greatest failing.
Look at them using, like, all the classic tunes.
The one thing I cannot believe, though, is all this about you being Cid. You were always such a good boy, but now you're quite the outlaw. Which, if I'm not mistaken, would make me an outlaw's uncle. Why then, who shall we pillage first? Rutherford, fetch me my cutlass. This will be fun.
He's so excited. What's wrong, Jill? I love that that's where we've gotten to in this at this point in the playthrough. Ah, his uncle's such a good character. I hope he lives.
She's a fine ship, isn't she?
Once outfitted, she'll bear us across the boiling sea to Drustinus in the space of 3 days.
Right?
Something on your mind?
Something is on her mind. Speak.
Monsters. When I served the Iron Kingdom, I did so because I saw no other choice. Because once they learned that the lash would not move me, they turned it on those who could. And so I became their puppet. I let them pull my strings, telling myself it was not my hand that swung the sword, but another's. I removed myself from the truth so I wouldn't feel the pain it caused. And before I knew it, I no longer felt
Possibly.
anything at all. I had become a monster.
Jill.
I don't want to be a monster, Clive. Do you understand? I want to choose a different path, a better path.
I don't like how she's
To
talking.
live on my own terms. But before I can do that, I need to come to terms with my past.
And when you do, I'll be standing there with you, just as you stood with me.
Thank you, Clive. I must atone for my sins. Only then, when it's done, will the monster cease to be.
Just promise me that you won't die with it. Now, let's get some sleep. The journey back to Benamir is long, and there is much to tell the others.
Come on, Torgal. Bedtime. And this is actually a good spot to take a break. We gotta head back to the hideaway. Woo! Appreciate y'all being here. It's time to get a stretch on. Gotta get some water. Gotta get some stretching done. YouTube, this is a good spot for you to take a break as well. Get some stretching done. I appreciate y'all watching and tuning in. We'll be back in just a sec. You won't miss a beat. All right, off to the hideaway. Either be monsters.
Only the Founder knows what awaits us in the Iron Kingdom. But Vivian could probably make an educated guess.
That's true. Thanks for welcome back. Appreciate it. We've got some side questing to do. Let's get that done first.
I didn't take you for a scholar, Ivan.
Oh, this? Well, it's Valisthea, a culinary pilgrimage. I borrowed it from old tomes. Seems there's no creature in the realm so foul it can't be cooked up into something delicious.
I think I'll stick to the unfoul ones, thanks.
No.
Where's your sense of adventure, Sid? Honestly, one glance at these recipes, and even you would trade in your sword for a butcher's cleaver. From spit roasts to sweetmeats, this book has them all. What I wouldn't give to bring these recipes to life.
If it's my blessing you're hoping for, then by all means.
Well, I'm no hunter, Sid. The first tunnel worm I came across would be the death of me. But you're made of sterner stuff. Would you help me resurrect one of these recipes?
Which one?
Something tells me you won't be taking no for an answer. Fine. I'll help.
Fantastic! Thank you.
So, dare I ask what's on
A
the menu?
marble.
Chance's Stew. It was once a favourite among the gourmands of Oriflamme, if the author is to be believed. Though Molly's never heard of it. The only problem is that while the recipe is extremely detailed in most respects, it's infuriatingly cryptic as to the main ingredient. A beast, no doubt. Most likely something that would make easy work of a simple cook with more broth than brawn, but unwanted violets. I've no idea what they might be.
Does the book say anything else?
Well, only that the sweetest violets sprout atop the bed of roses.
Roses. Rosaria, perhaps? One of the butchers in Martha's Rest might know something. I'll ask next time I'm there.
Good idea. All right. Nothing new with these two? Nope. Something new with the Redstone. That's just the next fighting thing. Let's go see what letter we've got.
Deadlands wouldn't be half as bad with all the bloody dust.
Oh, wow. An apple a day. Lad from the yard ran up a basket of martels just this morning. Sweet as honey and crisp as the morning breeze they were. I told myself I was only going to have one, but I reckon if no one listens to old Otto, I don't have to either. You let Nigel and his lot know they've done a fine job. Was the time you'd catch none but Sid supping on these, what for their foul bite. But for him, it never was about the flavor, but about what they represented. Our ability to make it on our own. And look at us now. Sid would be proud. Otto. My Lord Marquess. I ask once again for you to forgive my men for your welcome back at the Lazarus, but certainly you can understand that you were the last person any of us were expecting to see at our gates. In the short time since our reunion, you have shown yourself to be the self-same man I followed into Stillwyn those many years ago, a true bearer of your father's legacy. If only Sir Tyler, the Lord Commander, and all the others who were lost that night were still with us to see how bright your flame now burns. To you and your cause, I hereby pledge the swords of the Guardians, and am proud to stand alongside you once again. Wait. Our quests. All quiet in the Dominion. The Dalmex and the Imperials are at a standoff. They snarl at each other, fangs bared like some slum curs, but neither wants to make the first move. It's almost as if both realized what a stinking pile of chocobo shit they've stepped in. If I were a man to lay a wager, I'd put my copper on this conflict not playing out anytime soon. I shall keep you apprised. Gav. Jump! Flee! Do it! Why can you only jump like 2 inches now? You dick. I can juggle things in midair, but when I need to jump over a fucking bridge or a gate, you're just like, no, I can't get up. Can literally skip off enemies' foreheads.
Typical nobles.
How did we never
There are
hear
new
about
billets being posted every day. And not enough swords to see to them.
Clive! Oh, am I glad to see you?
Is something wrong?
It's Blackthorn. He ain't himself. And if I'm honest, he ain't been for a while. That normally it only takes a couple of drinks to perk him back up, but not this time. Something's getting him down. And whatever it is, he ain't telling. It's like he's lost his spark, you know? He's barely got enough fire in his belly to get the ump about stuff. But I'm thinking he might if we both bent his ear, because he respects you, innit? So, what do you say?
I'm in. Let's do it. Because I bet you I'll get more crafting stuff.
If you think it will help.
I knew you'd understand.
But if he doesn't want to talk, we let him be. He'll open up when he's ready.
All right. Now, he'll only smell a rat if we both turn up at once. So, I'll go first, and you can meet us at the forge. Wait a bit, then head over when you're ready.
I can do that. I can do that. Anything new?
How are you doing? Quick look.
Damn it.
Always something in there.
How may I help you today, Clive?
What do you got? Give me my berserker ring. Such is the renown of Cid the Outlaw that much of my clientele would rather spend their time prattling on about your endeavors than making any endeavors of their own. For that, I feel I owe you at least a portion of my earnings. A particularly enamored sort left this on my nightstand. May it serve you better than it did him.
You earned this.
Thank you kindly.
Good luck out there, Cid.
What's it do? Temporarily increases attack proficiency with each precision dodge. Oh! See, that's actually really good for me in particular. So I'm going to equip that because I do more dodging than I do parrying. It's just, I don't know, it just feels more fluid to me to like dodge versus parry. Getting the occasional parry is fine, but like... So where's the one? The one was at Cairn Norvern and the other one was at Eastwood? Cairn Norvent, sorry. The Broken Hilt of Rosario, okay. So Clairview, Sambrecht, got it. Let's go talk to Blackthorn. Can I leave? Or do I have to talk to Vivian first? Yes. And then I think we'll hunt down some of those hunts. What do you think? I think that'll be fun. Hello. You look grouchy.
First August, and now you.
Yeah, go hunt some
Get
stuff
up to it.
down.
What's it got to do with me?
August was worried that something had been weighing on your mind. I thought you might want to talk about it.
Did you now? I told you not to stick your nose in my business. What'd you go and do?
Clive just wants to help, innit? What's so bad about that? Talk to him. You never know, you might feel better for getting it all out in the open. Please, mate. I'm worried about you.
Phil shut you up. It's nothing really. Stupid. Not the sort of thing you bother people about.
Why don't you tell us all the same?
Karen and I have an arrangement. I keep an eye on Goots, and she shows me what the competition's up to. Interesting arms and armor, things like that. Anyway, the other day, she shows me a cuirass she's come by. Masterpiece of level work. Light, supple, and tougher than it had any right to be. Made my stuff look like every clumsy shit. I should have brought the bastard thing there and then just to study it, but I was too proud. And now every time I reach for my hammer, I'm reminded that I'm not the craftsman I thought I was. There. You happy? You got what you came for. Now piss off.
All right. We're going.
Now we need to go buy that cuirass, huh? Time to talk to Karen.
I always thought of old Blackthorn as a bit of a force of nature. Like a storm cloud full of ale. Didn't think anything could rattle him. Least of all a stupid piece of leather.
Blackthorn's always taken pride in his craft. Questioning it means questioning himself. Something tells me this is only going to get worse. If he has doubts, it will affect his work, which will only add to his problems.
True.
We need to nip this in the bud.
Agreed.
I couldn't agree more.
He said he should have bought that cuirass. Perhaps we should track it down for him. Assuming you're happy to help, that is.
Too bloody right I am.
Glad to hear it. First things first, then. We need to speak to Karen. Karen, do you have a moment? Blackthorn mentioned that you'd recently come by a leather cuirass. An exquisite example of the craft, from what he told us.
And he ain't been himself since he saw it. So we thought we'd buy it for him.
Sorry, sold it already. Didn't think Blackthorn cared for it the way he turned his nose up. But it was nicely put together, that's for certain. Even if the bloke who made it is a bit of an odd one. Happened across him on my travels. Makes all his stuff to order, but the fella who commissioned it refused to pay. He didn't like the colour of summit. So I took it off his hands for a fair price.
You don't know where we might find him, do you?
Like I said, he's a bit of an odd one. Doesn't even have a workshop. He don't trust hunters neither, which means he spends as much time out tracking beasties as he does working their hides.
I see.
He did tell me something, though. Apparently, his next commission's for a set of griffin hide greaves.
Here, there's a griffin on the hunt board. The curse breakers were placing bets on who'd bag it. Now, where the bleeding hell was it sighted? Somewhere in Sambrec, maybe.
Good news, I was heading there already.
Thank you, Karen. We'd be lost without you.
At least you admit it.
Now I have a fucking Karen.
It sounds like going after that griffin might be the best chance we have of finding our roaming leatherworker.
I'll leave the hunting to you if you don't mind. While you get on with that, I'll ask around the markets. See if I can't sniff out who he is and where he's hiding.
Good idea. Hopefully one of us will be able to track him down.
Alrighty. So now there's gonna be 2 hunts in this this area? Yikes. I can do that too. You dick. Fucking Moogle. Ask about griffin sightings. Gozmare. There we go. Yikes. It's a B rank. Damn, that's gonna be fun. Alright, so we've got 2 hunts to do in Caer Norvent then. One's at the West Gate, the other one's in Clairview. Alright. Let's do it. Oh, we have to go to there too. I forgot. Okay. East Pool, the Dim, Lost Wing. Okay, so this is Caer Norvent, right? Northreach. No, that's Sambrec though. Oh, that's it. Where would it be though? Oh, Clairview, here we go. That's where the one is. And the other one said it was where? Caer Norvent, like West Gate or something? That's probably in the valley then. Okay. Alrighty, well, we'll start here and just make our way down south and keep looking around until we find it.
Look at this place.
Good girl.
Let's rock and roll. Alright, now if I were a monster, where would I hide? Over this way.
Company.
You're not alone.
Oh, this goes back to Lost Wing.
This won't be easy. Be safe.
Thought I could break it before it hit me. Alright, well that wasn't where the monster was, but still something to fight nonetheless. So I'm guessing it's down this way then. There's a treasure chest here though. Boop. We'll take free stuff. Oop.
Come on.
Alright, Ambrosia.
Run like the wind.
Yep, okay. And then once we get out of this little section, we'll hang a little U-turn. So pretty. Hmm. I'm guessing the raptor's not it since it didn't do anything. Advent. See, this isn't going to be it either. It's going to be somewhere in actual player view. It has to be. That'll be it. Yeah, that'll be it. What up, homie?
That's what I think it is. This isn't gonna be easy. Nice try.
That was cool. I'm very glad we found that accessory. That is a very fun accessory. Oh, we didn't get away in time. too early. Hey there, Brando. How are you? Yeah, I got you. Got him. Got him. One mark down, one more to go. It's going pretty well. Going pretty well. I'm loving this game. It's so much fun. It's so much fun. I'm really having a good time.
Rest well.
Not yet. He probably will when that game comes out, though. Plus, I can pet the dog. Interesting. Fun. Huh. Guess time will tell, huh? Where was the other one at? It said like West Cairn Norvin or something like that. Southern March, this is Clairview. That's the old road, which just goes back to Lost Wing. This is Norvin Valley.
Ah, you're back.
Randall, thank you so much for the 20 months. Welcome back. Appreciate it. Rivergate. It's got to be down this way then. Got to be down that way. Appreciate it, buddy. Thank you so much. Welcome back. Oh, man. Okay, so we want to go this way. I think we have to go up the stairs first, if memory serves. It's probably in the same area where we fought Garuda. Oh. Yeah, all right, so hopefully it's down in this area down here. The Chocobo does make things so much faster. Hi-ya!
Time to fight.
You know, eventually that won't work, but for now. Not gonna work here. Get out of here, Ambrosia. Oh, this thing's only level 13. Don't waste my time. Get out of here. That's right. Level 13. The hell? Get these guys out of the way too. I think we're probably looking past that gate up there. Nice. Suppose we could check off to the left too and make sure that that little corner isn't it. I doubt it though. I don't see anything hiding over there. Because we're looking for a griffin, so like this thing's gonna be gigantic. Yeah, just little wolves. Okay, that takes care of that. Back on the chocobo. Not fighting you. Not fighting you either. I again assume it's not back here, but no, but there is something back here. What is this?
It's the same as the one back at the hideaway. Doesn't seem to be working though.
Guess we'll just mark that down in memory, huh? Something we have to come back to. That's gonna be a mini boss, I think. It's got a name.
Griffins don't exactly make for easy prey. Let's hope our craftsman hasn't bitten off more than he can chew.
Well, he said that, so I assume the griffin's around here somewhere, even though I don't see it. That's it. What up, friend? This is gonna be a tough fight. Ooh! Oh, that still hit me. That seems a little unfair, but that's fine. gonna take 4 staggers to kill this thing. Good lord. Good lord. Got it. Yeesh. That was fun. 8,500 gil. Jesus Christ. Got Scarletite and Meteorite. And down goes the Griffin.
Is something there, boy?
There's our merchant.
Could that be our man?
He looks fine. Yeah, he looks fine. I really did pluck him up.
Are you alright?
Yeah, he's fine.
Dare say I'll survive. That griffin caught me before I could get an arrow off. Must have lost sight of me in the grass, though. I'd be dead if it hadn't.
More likely than not.
The name's Camille. I'm a lowly leather worker, if you couldn't tell by the smell of me.
Not so lowly from what I hear. Do you remember selling to a merchant by the name of Karen?
She's not an easy woman to forget.
True.
Also pressed from me after I lost my buyer. Quite taken with my work, as far as I recall. Didn't stop her bartering me down to a pittance, though. She sent you for a refund?
It's not her who sent me.
It's me. I'm who sent me. Hi. Make me new armor. Oh, just kidding. Sorry, we need to make our blacksmith feel better.
Well, consider me flattered.
You should be. He's a master of his art, and not an easy man to impress.
Blacksmiths are proud folk. It's a rare thing indeed for one to praise a glorified tanner. And I don't imagine an impressive swordsman like yourself would be getting your steel from any but the best. I'd dearly love to help a fellow craftsman, but... Well, actually, I suppose you could give him this.
What is it?
Treated leather. Same stuff I used to make that cuirass. If
Cool.
your man's as skilled as he sounds, he'll know what he's looking at.
You sure?
Well, you did save my life. And thanks to you, I'll be going home with all the griffin hide I can carry. I'd say it's the least I can do.
Fair enough.
Short of showing him how to make the thing myself, that is. But there are rules against it. Secrets of the trade and whatnot.
In that case, I'll see that he gets it.
I'd be much obliged if you would. Right. I've got some greaves to make. You send your blacksmith my regards.
Will do. And thank you.
And all we had to do was hunt a griffin. Piece of cake.
Hopefully this will sweeten Blackthorn's mood.
Anybody remember where the other one was? The other hunt? Because I sure don't. I sure don't. I forgot. Yeah, I forgot. I should have wrote it down. It's my own fault.
Thank you for sticking with us.
Those of us who are still here.
Ah, we can always just run back to. It's not too big of a deal.
Welcome. Times may be hard, but if you got the gill, I got the goods. What can I do you for?
Unwanted violets, if you have them. Though I'd gladly settle for learning what they are if you don't.
Why, I haven't heard folk call them that since I was a lad. You're looking for scorpion tails. Unwanted violets is what folk used to call them back in the day. They turn
Cool. So we gotta go fight some crabs.
Boil them up. Hence the name.
Or scorpions.
Used to chuck them in the pot when there weren't nothing else on offer. When there was a war on, that sort of thing. Thankfully, times aren't yet as hard as that. And even if they were, you wouldn't find anyone selling them these days.
Do the scorpions still live nearby?
I dare say they do. 3 Reeds would be your best bet, if memory serves.
Fair enough.
Thank you. You've been most helpful.
I bet if I look at the map, I'll probably remember. Green Sheaves? That sounds familiar. The Broken Hill. It's down here. Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be down there.
Stay sharp.
After what the Empire did to Mom.
Ready, go?
Faster!
Gotta cross the bridge. Time to take out some scorpions.
Scorpions. At least I know what I'm up against.
Uh-oh. I was just trying to do this, and I wanted them to all be close enough. That's what I get for playing around. It's fine. My own fault. Got him. And then I showed him who was boss. Bastards. But we got the things he wanted.
To a villain before it goes bad.
Let's head to Eastpool and travel from there. This way.
Good girl. Run like the wind.
Well, maybe it won't be back here.
Don't get surrounded.
I don't know. That looks pretty much like a mark. We got it. Look at us. Hello, Belphegor. Level 30, huh? Shit. 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 I think I got it. Woo! Damn. Sweaty fight. Yeesh.
There aren't any more of them.
Good lord. All right. Good lord. All right, back to the hideaway. Damn. Here's your scorpion tails.
I did indeed.
Marvelous. Let's see. What am I supposed to do with this? It's poisonous, surely.
You wouldn't be wrong. But that's your unwanted violet.
Into the pot it goes, I suppose. Wait here. I won't be long.
Wait, do we have to eat this? Cause like, yeah.
I present Chance's Stew, risen once again from the ashes of obscurity.
You first, bro.
Have a spoon, Cid. Let's eat while it's hot.
I'm not hungry.
Well, it'll be too late once I've licked the bowl clean. Your loss. Odin's teeth. What an assault on the senses. It's like choking on swamp water. And yet, up through the pungency, there rise complex, meaty notes. It takes a moment to recover from such an onslaught of flavors, but never have I tasted anything so fine. Thank you, Cid. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Live, we're one and the same here, bud. I have no idea what's wrong with this man.
Won't rest until a steaming bowl of Chance's Stew sits before everyone in the hideaway.
I don't like
A
that.
single mouthful, and Molly will be breeding scorpions of her own.
Don't think so.
I'm sure she will.
I'm very happy that he's happy. Let's leave it at that. We leveled up though. Hey, let's go. Just took a little bit of purple mystery goop. Let's go. Increase the defense by 30 is good.
That monster's taken quite a liking to Lady Cat.
And with a bit of luck.
Here we go.
How'd it go, Clive? Did you find him, or does the hunt continue?
I found him. And he asked me to give you this, along with his regards.
There you go. Treated leather.
You're joking.
He said he wouldn't teach you how to work it, but that if you were as skilled as you sounded, you'd have no trouble understanding how it was done.
So that's his secret. Crafty bastard. He's layered and cross-grained it. Good few times, too. No wonder it's tough. And that's no ordinary oil he's used to get that finish. Oh, this is fine work. Even finer than I thought.
Yeah? I'll take your word for it. Just looks like leather to me. Still, I'm glad you're happy. Here, Clive, you didn't happen to catch the fella's name, did you?
Camille, I believe.
Oh, we did ask. Okay.
Thought as much. There ain't many leather workers in the realm daft enough to do their own hunting, see? And his name kept cropping up when I was asking around. Turns out he's from Tabor. And again, most leather workers are. But our friend Camille guards a long-held family secret.
the details of which are the subject of some debate in the leatherworking community.
Then we better keep this close to our chests.
Listen, sorry for putting the both of you to all that trouble. Should have kept my moaning to myself. Still, I'm glad you found him. This has cheered me right up.
That was the idea. Clive's idea, anyway. He did most of the work.
True.
It's good to have you back, Blackthorn.
Just don't expect me to go turning out work like this. There's a reason he does his own hunting. He knows exactly what hides to look for. And that's how he gets them to layer up so nicely. And don't get me started on how much oiling this leather would need. But I reckon I can make something about as good. Something a Cursebreaker will have no trouble caring for. Anyway, enough narrowing. I've got work to be getting on with.
Hell yeah, brother. Get it done.
Looks like we won't be needing a new blacksmith.
As if there was a better one out there.
True.
I wouldn't have been the same anyway. No one spins a yarn like old Blackthorn in his cups. Right, now that's sorted, I've got duties to attend to. Thanks, Clive. You've given me my mate back.
You're welcome, sir. Drake Slayer's belt design draft. Diagram detailing the steps to craft a belt fit for a hero. Woo! At least something good came out of that. You've obtained the design draft for the Drake Slayer's belt. Design drafts unlock new crafting options at the Black Hammer. Visit Blackthorn in the Hideaway for details and material requirements. Blackthorn!
Back, are ya? What's that for you, dear?
Ooh, we need one Electrum.
Bring me the materials, and I'll think about it.
What's that little symbol there? Everybody recognize that? Huh. Gives plus 26 defense, so I want to figure out where to get that. Ooh, a little bit of frame droppage there. Let's go to the Patron's Whisper. Actually, I think we're good to progress, right? We got all the hunts done. We got all the side quests done.
I could have sworn we had a few. Typical noble.
How did we never hear?
Same way they never.
Oh, I wasn't expecting you back so soon. Your benefactors are a generous lot.
It used to be I would step into a tavern only to find myself overwhelmed with requests to sing the of Dion the Bold or the choral of the Serving Girl. But now, all anyone wants to hear of is Cid the Outlaw. You've made me a very rich man, my friend. We get an orchestrion roll and an empty shard.
Here you are.
Direwolf Jess. Cleric's Medallion plus
Come
1.
again.
Okay.
I may have more for you.
The Cleric's Medallion, I believe, increases the potency of potions. So the plus 1's probably going to be a huge upgrade. Bam. All done. Look at us. Cruising. All right, Viv, what do you got for us?
Back again, Lord Rosfield. I'm touched that you should find me such good company.
It is not your company, but your counsel that I seek on this occasion.
Ever the charmer. What will it be today, then?
The Iron Kingdom. I need to know what to expect.
You'll soon be setting sail for Drake's Breath, then, I take it.
Possibly.
The mother crystal that rises from the boiling sea. There was a time when a true-blooded Rosarian had only to brave the waves to visit it. But then the Ironblood made their move. As you know, the Iron Kingdom rules over the islands to the west of Storm. Or rather, its church does.
Mm-hmm.
But this is not the pragmatic approach to state religion employed by the Holy Empire to manipulate the masses. No, the Iron Kingdom is the literal embodiment of the crystalline orthodoxy. And so, if one is to understand it, one must start there. As the name implies, the orthodoxy holds the Mother Crystal sacred, and they do not take kindly to heathens plundering the objects of their worship for the means to fill washtubs and light lamps with frivolous feats of magic. Indeed, the faithful consider ether a sinful thing, a poison no less. And to them, a dominant is an instrument of evil, albeit one they have proven only too happy to turn against their enemies. Some 80 years ago, in Northern Storm, Drake's eye collapsed. Soon after, in pursuit of ether and with the blight at their backs, the Northern Territories descended upon the Grand Duchy of Rosaria. And when the Shields of the Flame marched north to meet them, the Iron Kingdom spied an opportunity. A few short days later, the Crusaders landed on the island of Mount Justanus, home of Drake's breath, and plucked it from the duchy's grasp. Rosaria tried to reclaim it, of course, but to no avail. I doubt more than a handful of duchy men have set foot on its shores in your lifetime. Nor are they like to again, under the Empire's stewardship, meaning the Iron Blood will keep their island. And with it, the foothold they need to march on mainland soil when next they spy an opportunity.
So that works in two ways then. Because it cuts them off from the mainland. Well,
Of the Iron Blood's worship and their gateway
sort of
to
cuts
the
them off.
continent, making Drustinus the holiest of holy grounds, from which the Orthodox Crusade shall one day sail forth to claim the remaining Mother Crystals, or die trying.
My
Interesting.
father and my grandfather both traded blows with the Iron Blood for control of Drake's breath. Had things unfolded differently at Phoenix Gate, we would have sent our entire fleet against them.
But instead, they sent their fleet against Rosaria, sacked the capital, killed the men, and captured the women, including Jill. I'd say you'd be forgiven for wanting a little revenge, Clive.
My only aim is to destroy the Mother Crystal. But thank you all the same. Not much else to do here. Let's see if Jill's ready.
Let's see, indeed. I'm kind of with him, though. Like, at this point in your life, like, I feel like you've been through enough to not have to think about revenge at this point. Revenge seems petty in the grand scheme of things.
It will be over soon.
You ready?
I think so.
Jill. When you
It's
told
true.
me you had to come to terms with your past, you weren't talking about destroying Drake's breath, were you?
No. I spoke of Imran, the leader of the crystalline Orthodox.
Never mind. We're gonna do some revenge while we're
He
there.
made me do all those unspeakable things. I'm going to kill him. It's what I need to do to put the past behind me. What I need to move forward.
Well, see, Joe, what we meant to say is revenge is a dish best served cold.
If you're there beside me.
Always.
And I'll be beside you, too. We'll bring down the Mother Crystal together. All while Cid looks on.
Hog.
We'll make him proud.
Or try, at least. Boom, boom. Oh boy. Alright, well, we have completed all the side quests that I can think of or that I've seen. I haven't seen another place in our area to go, so there's no reason to go checking around. Oh, dear me. Here we go. Off to Drake's Breath. You know, we haven't saved in a long time. Probably should do that. We're now in the boiling sea.
Useful trick. Freezing and thawing the spray to make mist. How did you learn to use your powers like this?
The Masters made me do it. When the Crusaders took to the seas, to keep the fleet's movements from prying eyes.
Uh-oh.
I'm fine.
No, you're not.
This may be the only chance I get to go back. My only chance to put things right. I have to do this. Whatever the cost.
All right.
I don't like this.
There she is. The Iron Kingdom's mother crystal.
Drake's breath.
Yeah! Help me!
What the fuck? Charles, thanks for 100 bits.
Natural fortress.
But safety breeds complacency, allowing a single rowing boat to slip in unseen. The sanctuary is inside the mountain. If we follow the old trail, we should be able to enter by the back gate.
All right. Let's go.
This seems like a bad plan. Why is it called Fire and Ice? We do have 1996 experience. We should probably utilize. Lightning Rod. We want to save for Judgment Bolt. I feel like we're pretty close to Judgment Bolt. Or we could get Aerial Blast right now, which summons a tornado that hunts down enemies. That sounds so cool. I like the crowd control, and having the extra stagger is pretty good too, right? We can actually get rid of Gouge with this. Let's do it.
I always imagined when I came here it would be to reclaim.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there, Clive, but I gotta get that ability assigned. Aerial Blast is on. Let's roll.
It used to belong to Rosaria, didn't it?
Once, though it's been in the Ironblood's clutches for far too long.
As was I. For 13 years, this rock was my home. I know its secrets only too well. This path was abandoned after an ether flood. They don't guard it anymore.
The perfect little shortcut.
I forgot to buy potions. I'm sure it'll be fine.
They're all Akashic.
The ether flood must have spread. It was never as bad as this before. And the only way past them is through them.
I'll just have to play it a little safe. I can do that though. I'm going backwards, aren't I? Maybe you use the giant crystal as your guide, Gary. Good lord.
Was that an earthquake?
They happen all the time. That wasn't even a bad one. It's nothing to worry about.
No one wants to see what's happening to those dogs. Yikes. So that's a pretty good ability. Hi, puppy. What up, homies?
Mistakes.
That tornado takes a long time to come off cooldown. Couldn't see what was happening, but I can tell it was working.
We'll enter the caves from there.
Sick. Is that the right way? Guessing that's the right way. Follow the big crystal, Gary. There's a potion. And some fangs. Breath of the Wind, Aerial Blast. I don't think I've learned Aerial Blast, have I? Oh, I have it. That's what that is. Superb. Superb. Reduces the cooldown by 11. I think I'm going to go ahead and increase my defense by 20, to be honest. And I'll just deal with the CDR on the tornado. I heard a cat. Oh dear.
Ugh, look at this place. What a mess.
Wait.
You remember seeing this before, do you, Clive?
It's turned.
Nothing a shield of Rosaria can't handle.
Here we go.
Just like old times. Be sure to keep clear of his head.
Believe me, I mean to. That's foul.
Don't breathe it in.
Oh, shit. Nope. Burn all the tentacles. Are we kidding? Burn!
I still can't believe they can jump. These things have roots.
Dodge. Good parry. I should take it out, or at least get it staggered again. This should finish it off. Got him. Yeesh. Fun fight. Thanks for the GG. Down she goes.
Press on.
Yes.
Oh, man. The hell?
It's like a furnace in here.
We're inside the volcano. You get used to the heat, though I don't remember it being quite this hot.
Was that one cause for concern?
It was. And they're getting bigger. Something's wrong.
Stay down.
There. Okay. Two ways. This one has enemies. Let's check the other way.
This one.
Nice. Piece cake. This seems to be the right way. There's a treasure chest here, though, so maybe not. Here you go. Okay. How did it recover that fast? Got him. Yeesh. Oh my god. I don't even know where I'm at anymore. Okay, I went backwards. Hallelujah. Okay. So I fought all those things for nothing. Excellent. Wonderful. Fantastic. Great. Superb. It did look like I could jump off the side one of these. That's okay. I probably would have come back and fought the salamander anyway, so all works out. And now we can live knowing that we found everything, so.
Fuck. there no other way across?
Ruh-roh. Don't do it, Jill. Don't do it, Jill. I don't think we've seen her prime before.
Quickly, before it melts.
This is going to be close.
Yeesh.
Let's not do that again.
No. Let's not.
She sure is. Good lord.
They don't look too tough.
Perhaps not alone, but in numbers like these.
Yeesh. Dramatic.
Well, we aren't going this way.
Let's look for another path.
I'm guessing this way. We actually got enough potions to restock all of our potions. I guess I'm glad I didn't buy potions.
Drake's breath.
We're nearly at the oratory.
Look at us. Wow.
What the hell is that?
What the fuck?
Absolutely no idea.
It's a flan.
Whatever it is, I don't think it's friendly.
Hey, how come he gets to use Faraga? Some bullshit. Oops, eat it. I will try my best. Oops. Yes. Mm. Actually sounded pretty close. Tell us thanks for the 100 bits. Oh, that's where we drop down. Okay, so we go this way. Catch chest! A boop! Oh my god, finally, new armor. You love to see it. Plus 19 defense is pretty okay. Feels a little bit better to take this off then. We could put on the burning blade damage by 7%. That's not bad. Lunge damage by 5%. Okay. Leave it as is for now. Another potion. Oh, this looks a little arena-y, doesn't it?
One of the demons. But they never leave the lava.
Look at the sweat.
If I didn't know better, I think this volcano was about to erupt.
We fought one of these.
They're peaceful creatures.
This one must be the exception.
Right? Didn't we fight one of these with Cid? Okay, did it twice. Alright. That's right, we did. We're gonna give this one a tornado. There you go, bud. Forgot about that one. Woo!
What's it doing?
Nothing good, I'll wager. I did not just parry that.
Oh shit! It was like 2 hits away too. Damn, I got greedy. That's my fault. That was a good fight until I got greedy too. Damn. Got a gnarled scale. Down it goes.
You hurt.
Just hot. Thank you.
Quite a commotion our friend made. Let's hope the guards didn't hear it.
The gate to the inner chambers is just up there. Then we make for the sanctuary. I need to finish this.
Drink away.
Before the heat finishes me.
Oh.
Here.
Well, the inner sanctum's just up here.
Handmaiden's living quarters. It was always a hive of activity.
Sounds like we'll have a hard time staying out of sight.
We won't have to. There's someone there I should very much like to see.
Get some closure for it, because you're not coming back to this area, are you? And regrettably, everybody, this is where we're gonna have to call it for today. Oh, a cliffhanger of my own making, but it's time for food. I am starving. I am starving. YouTube, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Tomorrow, or next episode, we'll be getting down to get the rest of Drake's breath. Hopefully, we get Jill the closure that she's looking for, and cross your fingers. Hopefully, Jill doesn't die. Appreciate y'all watching. As always, we'll see you in the next one. Have a great day, YouTube. Bye.